bodies of 4 service members who died in the Middle East are back home in the U.S. tonight. Troops carried the cases draped with the American flag at Dover Air Base for a dignified transfer. 3 of the people honored died during an attack on an airbase in Jordan. The other, a North Carolina native who died in Iraq when an Iranian drone went off. Their deaths are among the latest escalations in the war with Iran. As this war ramps up, I spoke with a retired Army general to get a better sense of where things stand right now. General Bob Ashley, thank you as always for your time. Really glad to speak with you, especially given your experience as former director of the Defense Intelligence Agency and your 36 years of active duty service. One of the first pieces of this war with Iran that I want to ask you about is about the communication with the American public. The White House and the Pentagon have been criticized for not communicating enough about the current situation with the war. They've noted that they haven't held a press briefing since May. Is this a fair criticism given the ongoing nature of the war?
Well, Ashley, as always, it's good to be with you and your audience today. And first, let me say my thoughts and prayers to the 3 service members we lost over the past week and the 18 since this conflict has started. And I think we're probably a little over 400 injured since the conflict has started as well. But I think it is a fair criticism. You know, one of the things that's part of our values inherent in who we are as a democracy is a degree of transparency. And I think it's important for the American people to understand the nature of what's taking place in the conflict. Clearly, you're not going to share classified information. You're not going to share sources and methods. But for them to understand why we are making this commitment, not only of national treasure, both financially and of lives being committed and service members at risk, is you have to have a dialogue with the American people.
Yeah, especially given, we hear a lot of talking points about, well, we can't let Iran have nuclear weapons, we can't let them have a nuclear program. But you and I have talked about how there's more to this than strictly that. What are your measurements of success in this war, and how is the country doing on them so far?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because it's not as if you have this one, success and you go, okay, we're done. A definition of success, strategically at this point, I think is Iran is no longer a threat to its neighbors, and that is a conventional threat. It is not a nuclear power, which is yet another kind of threat. And it does not provide support to the proxies in the region that not only threatens Israel, but other nations.
And the Iranian regime really seems to be playing a long game here. They're waiting to see if the economic pressures and the combat casualties will force the Americans to fold. So how do you overcome their strategy and still succeed in the ways that you were talking about? What should the military do?
So you don't have a military solution to the entirety of the problem. So that's part of it. And they do think that they have, the leverage in the long game, both from the international economic pressure and then the casualties. But the other piece of this is going back to what's that pathway, isolating them economically through a blockade, reducing their leverage and their ability to hold the straits at risk by improving our ability to, one, defend the straits and ensure transit, and then look at the alternative means by which goods are moved out of the region, principally oil and gas, starts to reduce their leverage. And the blockade itself, over time, will significantly increase the economic pressure. And so we've got to keep the pressure going on. But meanwhile, like we've done through our history, there will be fighting while talking. We did it in Vietnam, we did it in Afghanistan, and we're doing it today.
How long could this take?
Well, this could be months with regards to ratcheting up the economic pressure on the Iranians. It could easily go into next year. And, part of this gets back to really your original question. If that's the case, and if this is going to take a while to get the regime to actually, kind of bend to our will in this context of economic pressure and sustained military pressure as well, it gets back to the fact that we've got to talk to the American people and really the international community about the challenge that we face and then how we are going to methodically get about this.
General Ashley, former director of the Defense Intelligence Agency, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ashley.